Today I wanted to talk about our superficial front line of connective tissue, fascia, and our superficial back line and how they work together in reciprocity to keep us upright, stabilize, to locomote, to slow ourselves down. And because most of us spend a lot of time sitting, whether it's driving in the car or sitting in front of a computer, or looking at our phone, we're starting to return to how we were in utero with this curve of the spine, which is not very functional for being upright and walking, which is largely what our bodies, our bipedal bodies, have evolved into. Walking being probably what our bodies are the most designed for. So, our front line starts on top of the feet and comes all the way up into the hip flexors. And there's a little place where they don't connect, but they connect by the structure and support of the pelvis. So starting again here at the pubic bone and working up into this train. And then around the front of the neck, it wraps up behind the skull. So this is all, we can think of this as all one train of action. And this train of action ideally is moving upward to support. And then the train of action through the back body is moving downward. That's the kinetic energy line. And so the posterior chain starts right here at the forehead, moves down the back, down all of these stabilizing muscles along the spine, wraps around. There's the sacroiliac ligament right here. And so here, our sits bones, our pelvis, the hamstrings connect up into here and move down all the way to the bottom of the feet. And so I just want to spend a little bit of time on a surface that allows us to open. So ideally it's curved in some way, or you can use bolsters underneath you. And we'll just feel into our hip flexors here and this opening. I don't know about you, but when I get stressed out, everything seems to close and tighten, which pulls me forward. It's good to be able to access these deep core muscles, the psoas. I mean, we're accessing it all the time, but also these outer hip flexors can get really locked up and a little bit in the way of, it inhibits some movement through here. So let's just take a minute lying on our backs in this kind of opening up toward the sky, opening the front line. This is nice to do outside on a rock, under the sun in the sky. There's water around, that's helpful because we can take in the sounds of water. Our body is made up of water. Our fascia is made up largely of this viscous goo that changes material substance depending on what its function is or how it's being touched, how it's transmitting force. So right now we're just asking that viscous goo to soften. And we can do that by tending to the breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And really letting the back of the body soften, get heavy into the earth, into the rock that you're lying on, or the bolsters. Just let it settle. And imagine water trickling down from the top of your head, down the front of the body. If you can remember those lines that I traced across the hip flexors, across the front of the legs, all the way down the front of the feet. Water dripping off the toes. Just feeling this expansive opening. And there's courage in this act of lying down, settling the back body into the earth, and opening up the front body, which is quite vulnerable. This is where all of our vital organs are. We're just opening it up and exposing it. And I find my courage by feeling the magnificent resource of the earth under my body. Which for me, when I tune into the earth's energy, I'm tuning into my ancestors' energy. The earth being our first ancestor that connects all of us. So we can go ahead and roll onto our belly. And this is what we were doing when we were babies to start the process of locomotion. And we can think about what was the impetus for us to start to locomote. Evolution, desire, wanting something. Maybe there's a shiny object in front of us that we want to reach for. Curiosity. Curious about what is in front of us. So we can just practice pushing up and feeling this whole chain, this whole line activate. And then the front body opening. Just feeling how the front body and the back body are working together in reciprocity. Pushing up, activating these muscles. And then just practice reaching forward with one hand. Feeling the stabilizing muscles across this whole body. Feeling the diagonals from right shoulder to left hip, left shoulder to right hip. And then place the right hand down. Reach forward. Finding this spiral, this diagonal, you're reaching forward for something. And place that hand down. And now pushing up, you can look behind you as if you're tracking someone walking. And then bring your eyes back to the front and look behind you on the other side. And here we're starting to develop the coordination of the brain with the body. This is the first act of contralateral movement. So by practicing this, we're reminding our brain, activating our cognition, exercising our cognition. a few more breaths here. How are you feeling? And then you can let everything soften, softening your belly onto the rock. It's a nice practice to be with all of the reciprocals in the body. There's so much working together, which helps me to remind myself that I'm not just my thoughts or my rational mind, which would have me thinking I'm alone and an individual, but I'm really a part of this rock and a part of this ocean, and there's just so much intelligence that's happening inside of my body that really works beyond what my rational minds can conceive of.